Hello all, welcome to oratrainings.com. In this session, we'll discuss about performing DB operation on a table in Oracle Integration Cloud. Let's see. The first prerequisite for this particular session is you need to have a ATP DBCS connection and a table which we are using in our session is employee table, the name EMP. And now, for the integration, what all we require? We require a REST trigger connection. We require ATP connection. And we'll be designing our integration with a type application. And we have 3 input parameters and 1 output parameter. And also we have used a switcher as well as logger respectively. Okay. Now, let's see the connection. You can see the REST trigger connection, which we have been using in our samples. And the ATP connection. And now, this is the final integration which we'll be designing in our session today. So here, if you observe the flow, the first one is a trigger connection. And here we'll be receiving the input parameters, okay? And the 3 input parameters. And those 3 input parameters, we are mapping to the DB mapping. And then after that, next thing, what are we doing is we are passing the EMP number, what we have received as an input to another DB operation to check it out whether our insertion is successful or not. So actual insertion is happening at this level, the first invoke activity, and the second invoke activity is just for the validation of the employee, whether it was inserted successfully or not, because there is no other way we can validate whether the input what we have provided is actually inserted by the database or not. There is no way we can validate within the integration. So one of the options what I can suggest is you can design another invoke activity. You can just perform a select count of star from EMP table where EMP number is equal to the input parameter which we have passed it, and the result of that particular invoke activity. So here we are mapping that if EMP count is equal to 1, then it means that we are updating the status message like successfully inserted. And if it is otherwise, nothing but you have a failure in the insertion. So we are updating the output response via map activity instead of any logger. And you can see the status here. First scenario where I was able to insert the employee successfully. Status is data inserted successfully. The scenario 2, status is error in performing insertion because I'm trying to insert an employee which is already there. Definitely database will error out. Database will give an error because the employee number is a primary key, right? We cannot have multiple primary keys in the same table, isn't it? So that's where it got a failure. Okay. So now let's start creating this integration from the scratch now. Okay. So now we'll click on create an integration of type application, and I'll just go with the name INT test like this. And what we require, first thing is we require the connection, REST connection OIC, which is a trigger connection. And we need to design, insert employee details. And would like to perform 3 input parameters and 1 output parameter. I'll just go with slash here. Click on continue. Three parameters. The first one is the EMP number, which is integer, ename, which is string, salary, which is integer. Continue. These are 3 input parameters. Now we'll mention the response parameter. I'll just go with the inline mode. I'll just enter the response in the JSON format. Status, record inserted fully. A sample status like this. Continue, finish. So the initial element got created. And next thing what we want to do is we want to perform the DB operation insert. So click on this plus symbol. Now select the ATP connection. Insert EMP using ATP. And here we'll just go with perform an operation on a table. We would like to perform insert operation. And here the schema name is Sriram and the table name is EMP. Search and the table type is table. Select the table, select it and click on import tables. It will show a pop-up. Now we can just select. You don't need all the field size because we know that we would like to provide only 3 input parameters, but let's see what does it do. So I'm selecting only 3, but let's see what it generates in the bind, in the mapping, I mean. So I'll just go with the default, no changes now. Finish, and let us observe carefully. It will generate the bind parameter now. It generated mapping based on the operation what we have selected, right? So it automatically generated a mapping here, right? So now click on this mapping because here you're performing an invoke activity. This invoke activity requires some input parameters. So that you have to pass it properly. Then only the insertion will become successful. So now the parameters for our invoke activity of database operation, it requires a couple of parameters, right? So even though I selected 3, it shows all. So that's a default functionality I can say. Now these are the input parameters which I'm receiving from the user. So EMP number is mapped to EMP number, ename is mapped to ename, and salary is mapped to salary. So just 3 parameters I mapped it. That's it. So till this place, our database insertion, assuming database insertion will become successful, theoretically. But technically, if you want to validate, how do we do it, right? That is where we want to apply the switch logic. So for that to apply switch logic, I need to know the count of the employee in a specific table, right? So that's the reason I am performing one more invoke activity on the same ATP connection with a different query. ATP connection OT. Check EMP count. And here it is just a simple select query. Select count of one EMP count from EMP, where EMP now is equal to. So this is a input parameter. PEMP number is an input parameter that will assign based on the REST trigger input parameter which we received. So click on continue, click on finish. Okay. Now for this one also, you'll be having a mapping. So it generated a mapping, EMP count mapping. You click on this edit. Now for this mapping, what we have to assign? The input query parameter which we are receiving from the user, the EMP number. So now the final one is the switcher and a mapper. So till this part, we are able to validate, but we need to set the response appropriately based on the result. So click on this plus symbol now. Let us go with the switcher activity. And the first switcher activity, assuming EMP count is equal to 1, right? So I'll just say check EMP count is equal to 1. Okay. this first condition and second condition. Here I'll just say otherwise. That's otherwise condition. So now for the EMP count is equal to 1, we want to set the response. So I'll click on action action and map. And here I want to use the mapping which is available for my REST trigger connection because it was having an output parameter. So I have to select this. So it will create a mapping for my output variable. So in the response wrapper of my trigger connection, we have a status message. So you can just click on the string function or something like that. You can assign a value. I'll just drag and drop like this. It will generate an expression for that. So I can just simply type it. So I'll say employee inserted successfully. Validate. Click on back. You can try the similar one for otherwise also. Click on plus symbol, action, map. Same thing. Select your trigger. Click on create. Response wrapper, status. Select any of the string function. Just drag and drop here so that you can see the expression here. Error while performing insertion. Now click on validate and click on back. Now the final pending one is setting the primary business identifier. Click on this icon. Set the primary business identifier. Query parameters. EMP number. Save it. Now it is configured. It means that there is no pending error or anything pending for your integration to become active. Click on activate. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Done. Click on run. Okay. So the first one is it says key name. So I'll say Vic. And employee number, I'd like to go with 9800. Salary is 2500. Let's try. Let's see what does it provide in the response. So it says error while performing insertion. Let's see whether do we have an employee with that number. This is my database schema, the EMP table. Yeah, no, it is okay. So here if you observe, it got inserted twice. The reason is this EMP number is already available. Okay, that's the reason we got an error, isn't it? So technically it is wrong. So let me delete from EMP. Let me try again. EMP, where EMP number is equal to. Yeah, I'll show you the logic. Okay, so now let's say if I mention this EMP number as 7934, leave about the employee name and salary doesn't matter because assuming EMP number is a primary key, just click on run. Let's see what does it provide. Okay, now still says error while performing insertion, and see whether do you see any difference? Do you see two records with 7934? Let's see that. So here what is happening is it is still inserting, right? So it means that we should have perform the validation before insertion, right? So whatever the logic which you have done, technically it is correct, but logically it is wrong, right? Now we'll just go back here. It is in performing insertion perfectly, but the problem is it is not validating it's not validating whether your employee is already available or not. It is simply inserting it, right? Okay. And here, let us say I don't have any primary key on my table and everything is good. The only issue is the written response is wrong. So what I mean to say is, let us assume that I don't have any primary key validation at DB level, because that is the reason it is allowing to insert, right? If you have primary key validation at the DB level, this will not work. Okay. So here, instead of employee count is equal to 1. So what I'll do is I click on edit. And here I'll say, I don't have any validation on my database level. So I'll just say employee count greater than or equal to 1. So it doesn't matter if it is already available, but is it inserted now or not, right? Assuming like that. So I'll just go back here and click on activate. Because it is giving the error response even though it is inserted, right? So to just rectify that, I have just made the count is greater than 1. So now let us say employee count, let's just give one more different number, 8999. Theta, run it. Let's see 8999 and see the status. Employee inserted successfully. So we can see the information here. Right. So now we'll see one more record. 9001. Run it. Now also fine. I guess you should be able to see the mapping also here. It says EMP count greater than 1. So definitely you'll see the status like this, isn't it? Now let's say I'll not provide anything here. I'll not provide any input parameter. I just simply click on run. Let us see what is the status it will respond. Right? Simple. Error while performing insertion. Of course, our sample is not fully logically correct, but technically it is correct. Still, we can do a lot number of validations. We can add the validations at the database level or in the integration level also. For a simple insertion, we just want to show a very simple insertion. So we just added only few logics, okay? Even though it is not a perfect example of a real-time production, but still, we just added a couple of activities to learn, okay? So yeah, so that's a sample. Just perform a DB insertion and you can add up lot more validation, okay? Before or after, right? It's all things you can add up step by step. Okay, thank you.